show and what's going on.
Yeah, so what we got coming up tomorrow night, I will be defending my OIWA International Heavyweight Championship at the Dallas Elks Lodge here in Dallas, Texas, obviously, against a guy named Gabe Excel. We've been feuding for a while, but his day's coming, and it's going to be tomorrow, you know what I mean? I've had the title for the better half of 3 years now, and definitely don't plan on giving it up tomorrow, you know what I'm saying? I got the big stuff popping still, so I can't. By any means. And Gabe is a big dude. Real big dude. You seen the flyer, you know. I'm talking 6'2", 6'3", 350, 360 pounds.
Oh, yeah.
But we know I left that. Oh, it's going to be a good show. Great show. Sword Championship Wrestling. Yeah, I do want to take the top down a little bit, though.
All right, cool.
Yeah. Because at some point over the next month or two, I'm going to end up cutting it, so I'm going to need to have it a little bit lower as that part grows back out.
Okay.
So I want to start getting it lower. That way that part grows back out a little bit easier. Because right now it's still a little bit too high. And not growing in, so. Getting these gray hairs on my forehead getting bigger now. It's all good.
Yeah, you should. Gray hair is a part of it, man.
Yeah, I know it. As I say, such is life, shit.
Right.
I'm glad I get to, though, shit. You know what I mean? Like, real shit, though. I'm glad I get to. Yeah. That's what my dad always used to say when I was young, and I used to make fun of him for having gray hairs or whatever it may be. Or when he started balding. That was one thing that he would always say. He'll like, just keep living. He'll like, cause if you live to be able to get gray hair and go bald and all that kind of stuff, that means you're still alive.
Right.
I like shit.
Right.
I like shit. Good point. Just say less. Don't take it, Dad. Got it.
That make a lot of sense to me.
Right. Right. Now that wasn't hard to understand. By any means, dude. By any means.
Any I don't take those personally, so there's any like expectations you got for the new year and all that?
You know, like I'm not a really I mean, obviously I have goals per se, but I mean it's just a continuation of everything that I've already been doing. You know what I mean? Because I mean I'm hitting all the small ones as time goes on, and you know journey throughout my process of whatever it is that I'm doing. And there's just time because there's so many uncontrollable variables to some of the goals that I have. I control everything but whatever the uncontrollables are since I can't, you know what I mean?
Right.
And just got to keep on keeping on and just give stuff that time and just, you know, sit in the thick of it and keep fighting the good fight to achieve whatever it is I'm trying to achieve, be it the wrestling contract, be it, you know, recording contract and getting music out there, be it, you know, opening a gym one day if I feel like it's the right time to do that, like any of that stuff, because, you know, those are all goals and some of those goals. You know, once again, there's uncontrollable variables and other people that play parts and that, you know, I would need certain things from. But just really a continuation, man. Just steadily getting better and whatnot, you know. And that's really about it. Just maintaining course, shit.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like this. I mean, I took a step forward this last year. Want to take a step forward this year.
Yeah, I was watching this video the other day. Just a guy I follow a lot of anyway. His whole thing was it's like 3 steps. Basically, you want to continue to work towards being the person that does the things to have the things you want. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's it. So like you said, just keep going, keep becoming who you know. All work. If it ain't working on you, it's working for you. You know
That part, right.
Vice versa.
Right. That's it, because people get too wrapped up in the idea of goals.
Yeah.
But the idea of a goal is literally just that. You know what I mean? It's written on paper, maybe written on your board, maybe just in your head.
Yeah.
But the most important aspect is what are the steps?
Yeah.
Like, what are the steps? You know what I mean? It's like a post I made a couple days ago, or 1 or 2 days ago. Mm-hmm. It was something from my pastor that he had said, where I want to make sure sure I say it right. So I'm closing my eyes and think real quick. But he was saying that most people ask the wrong questions. The people that are successful, you know what I mean? He said the question isn't what did you do to get to where you're successful or where you're at in life. Mm-hmm. The question is, what did you have to go through?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not what you have to do, but what did you have to go through? What did you have to overcome? Yeah. What demons, what battles, what unfortunate circumstances did you have to jump over to be able to achieve this success? Because that's the important part. You know what I mean? Because that's the mud.
Right.
That ain't the grass. That's the mud.
That's what made you become the person.
Correct. Right. Because that's where the greatest lessons are at in the process too. Yeah. You know what I mean? I do believe you could learn through winning, because just because you win doesn't mean it was perfect, right?
Right.
So it doesn't mean you play, you see that in sports all the time. The sports team wins, they still had missed passes, they still had missed shots, they still had missed swings, whatever it may be. But they still won the game. So win's a win, you know what I mean? But we always want to strive to be as perfect as possible, be as great as possible, knowing that we can never honestly be perfect, you know what I mean? And be okay with it, right? The point is to always work towards it, because that always means you always genuinely putting your best foot forward. Yeah. You know what I mean? And that nothing else matters after that.
This time gonna go by anyway.
Correct.
Your only goal is to prepare today to be better for what's gonna happen tomorrow.
Right. Yeah, so and that's just how I look at everything, man. As somebody that's wrote a book and stuff, and that's exactly it, right? It's like we can write a book and tell the story, but what does that do for people?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The story itself, it might be intriguing and sound good, but what's the lesson at? Like, what are people getting from it? You know what I mean? What are you giving to the people through the story? And so that's why when you write a story, you got to write, how you got through it. What was the lesson that you learned, and so on and so forth, to give them some kind of step.
Just telling the story, yeah.
Correct, right. Because that's easy to get, you know what I mean? But it's like, okay, so how'd you get through that though?
Right.
And that's what people need. Because that's where the relation comes, or the disconnecting relation, right? If somebody's battling depression and somebody that's battling it right now, it's like, how did you get through it? You know what I mean? Or they just know your story of a depression, so to speak. Let me backtrack. They just know the story. Then that doesn't help them. But the moment you're like, yeah, man, I got back into church, I started going to therapy, I got off of drugs or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
That's where the lesson comes in, to help that individual overcome whatever it is they need to overcome through your story. You know what I mean? Because now there's that lesson there. Now there's that situation of how you overcame and the steps you took to overcome. Because sometimes you may have taken a step and it didn't work. You know what I mean? It could have been therapy and it's like, damn, that didn't work. Okay, what's next? Could have been drugs, still depressed. What's next? Go to church. Now I feel freedom. Right. You know what I mean? Now I feel released from the bondages maybe, or whatever order something may come in. You know what I mean?
So you had a new album or EP coming up?
I do, yeah. It's technically gonna end up being considered an album because the EPs usually they list as 3 to 6 tracks, and it's 7 tracks. So, like I look at it as EP. Yeah, I mean I guess it's an album at the end of the day, due to technicalities. But yeah, got a new album coming out. It's called Real Life Ain't No Gimmick. It'll be titled as Arlang, RLANG. For once again, Real Life Ain't No Gimmick. 7 tracks. Worked with 2 different producers who I've worked with in the past. Diamond Style and my man A-Dot. 0 features, all me on it, outside of the production aspect of it. Executively produced by my man Trevor Lawson and my brother Jory Smiley. Both Jory, my brother, has lived in New York, lived in Cali. He's been part of the entertainment business itself in another realm of it, not the music realm, but another aspect of it when he was in those areas. Also lived overseas for a good while, so he has great knowledge for music. I get my music knowledge and my love for music from him from when we were growing up. Okay. And Trevor is in the business. He's managed people. He's executive produced for other people, like all that kind of stuff. And he's been a friend of mine for, the better half of 13, 14 years at this point now, if not a little bit more. It might be on the other side of 15, 16. But I never worked with him really hands-on with music on helping me, like, overlook this for me. Listen to this, tell me where you feel I should add, change, if anything, once everything is done, all right, it's like, let's listen to the order, you know, all that kind of stuff that comes with being the executive producer, essentially, which is, you know, the person that helps you kind of formulate the final processes of it for the most part and direction in which you should go. Yeah. So I have both of them on tap for it, you know, for what I got going as well. I released that info today, actually, so that's cool. Like, as far as the title and all that, and the date that I'm going to be releasing, which is February 19th, that is in 2 weeks. Next Friday, I'm going to be releasing a music video. I'm going to be releasing the cover art as well and all that kind of stuff, the track list, and that way we could be all systems go for that final week leading up to the, you know, the release in a couple Fridays from today. Especially, I always love, you know, doing music, and I plan on, you know, I've done music since I was 18, and I've had very successful moments, had very depressing moments in the journey, as all journeys are when you try to do something like that. And but ultimately, you know, music is one thing that's always gonna be there, always has been there, never leaves. I think it's the one kind of entertainment aspect that is super universal. Meaning, it doesn't matter what race you are, it doesn't matter what religion you are, it doesn't matter none of that, right? Everybody listens to music. It's a 100% a universal language. And those that are able to do it is special, man. You know what I mean? Because it's also a vulnerable situation. So, you know, if you're a true lyricist, so to speak, and a true storyteller, it's a vulnerable situation because you're telling your own personal stories, once again, just like the book, in hopes that people can correlate or hope people can relate and feel what you're saying in that moment that grabs their attention and brings them into the lyrics where they're feeling what you're feeling while you're rapping what you're rapping about, that sad situation in which you're rapping about. Yeah. You know, being that I'm a rapper, or same thing for country singers, same thing for rock bands, probably, depending on if they're that kind of artist. So yeah, I'm excited about that, man. It's been about 1.5 years since I put anything out. My last project, As I See It, did very well on all music streaming platforms. Was not my most streamed track. My most streamed album was my No Stone Unturned album, which came out the year prior. That dropped in 21. As I See It was in 22. Didn't release anything in 23 at all. And then we got Our Lane coming out here once again in a couple weeks. So I'm excited. I'm real excited about that.
What's the inspiration for it, or like what's the, like, where you going with it?
As far as kind of like the concept?
Yeah.
It's exactly what the title says, man. So real life ain't no gimmick, right? You know, a gimmick is you being something that you're actually not. You know what I mean? It's you playing a role. It's you faking the funk in a certain type of way. You know what I mean? And that's what a lot of the songs are about, are different aspects of real life versus kind of living a gimmick and people playing and people lying, and, you know, kind of my Cat Williams moment, so to speak. But the truth is gonna set everybody free. You know what I mean? Got all the receipts. No, but it's I'm excited about it, man. I think it's honestly the best stuff I've written to date, and I just feel refreshed. I'm well rested lyrically and mind-wise as far as what I want to talk about and write. So I'm in a good place. I'm not overthinking music anymore. You know what I mean? And it shows on this project, you know, because both my guys, as far as Jordy and Trevor, both who have listened to every single thing that I've dropped, have both been like, no, we're going to have to push this one, like, for real, you know what I mean? Yeah. And so I'm excited about what's to come, man. I'm really excited. I've been locked in over the last few months, getting everything done, getting the beats in, seeing which way I want to go with the album, recording, deleting, rewriting, re-recording, like everything, and so it's been a journey, and I'm glad it's done now. Like, now I'm just enjoying it myself, sitting on it, as I've sent it to a couple people to listen to early, and get ready for all this preparation on the, like I say, the video and the cover art release and the track list, and then the actual drop, man. Make sure it doesn't just sit there. If you get some traction, I'm try to link with some websites and some DJs to get it posted up and, you know, get reviews written about it. That way they can release, you know, on that same day, preferably. Yeah.
It's all about doing the thing, man.
All right.
Like I said, pushing it harder, you know, putting it out. Like I said, getting some traffic and shit. So that's
Yeah, dog. I mean, we wouldn't be doing ourselves justice in the fact that our God gave us free will to do what we wanted to with our lives, to be as great as we wanted to be, to live in America where we could start a business in the snap of a finger, you know what I mean, and not do it.
right.
You know what I'm saying? People that never chase their dreams, I can't relate to that. You know what I mean? Which is okay, because now I have the opportunity to be, press into them and help grow them, to get them to chase, because, depending on what it is, it's definitely never too late, depending. There's obviously levels to that. That's not a clear-cut statement by any means. But there's definitely levels to that. But if they're still at a stage where they can make something shake, then there's still no reason not to, because you have the opportunity to be able to. And if you don't, we'll find the resources, or you need to make the alignments and start taking those steps, once again, to be able to get there. Because everybody's just different on how they learn and what they want to learn, and some people just ain't got that killer instinct in them. And it is what it is, you know what I mean? Some people are just meant to work 9 to 5s and not be entrepreneurs, because it's not easy, as you know, shit. Nah, dog, it ain't easy. You know what I mean? That's what one of my buddies posted the other day. He was like, if you're an entrepreneur and you don't at least once a week want to quit your entrepreneurial journey and go work at McDonald's and just say fuck it, then you're not really entrepreneuring. I was like, God, that is a word, dog. Just put all that shit, be like, I'm done. Like, screw it. I was like, that is a word.
I definitely stopped cutting a few times.
Yeah.
I mean, fuck all this. Me to the 1,000, it started getting this fucking ads and shit going.
Yep. Every post. Like, subscribe. Like, subscribe. Definitely subscribe. Like, if you will.
Subscribe. For sure.
Yeah, right. Subscribe now, like later.
What's the steps for somebody like if they trying to get into the pro wrestling and all that? Like, what would be the process for that?
Finding a training school. Step number 1, for sure. Finding a training school, which there's a lot everywhere now, because wrestling is such a hotbed right now.
Yeah.
There's wrestling just all over, really good wrestling. And so it's really just finding that good training school to go learn properly, a proper training school from somebody that has done something in their career and in their life too, right? Because we're humans at the end of the day, so you want people that have done good with life and don't want to be associated with somebody that has a bad track record in either or, personal or business, And so finding a training school and then, signing up and just keeping your pride at the door to learn the process, right? A lot of people start something and they can kind of see themselves being decently good at it and they start wanting too much too soon. And it takes years to really get as good as you want and ask for, right? It's not an overnight process because there's so many aspects of what goes into being a professional wrestler outside of just good wrestling. You know what I mean? Because good wrestling isn't just doing cool moves. It's real good psychology, not psychology and structure, storytelling, selling, the way you do stuff, your look, the way you talk, in your promos and in the ring to fans if you're a face or a heel and all that kind of stuff. You learn all that through good training, you know what I mean? And at least initially somewhat to have a good foundation so when you take that step out the doors after your graduation, you're already foundationally set in stone. So then it's just learning process and learning different ways to do stuff and from different people and different styles, either good or bad, and kind of learning that both are out there. Yeah, it's not a crazy process. It's just a niche. It's kind of if you know, you know. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people were once wrestling fans, but then changed up being wrestling fans as they got older.
Right.
But it's still right there just as much as it was back then. Even more so now. Because now we got the internet even more. Yeah, first step number one, find you a training school, sign up, and show up every single session that you can train. And the rest will do the rest will do itself.
Are there any really good ones out here, or like?
What's up?
Any good schools out in
Yeah, we got Bumps and Bruises Pro Wrestling Academy out here. It's Sir Mo's Bumps and Bruises. Sir Mo was a former WWF Tag Team Champion with Men on the Mission. One of my mentors, and Evelyn Carter is the head coach there. I'm an assistant coach. A guy named Dean Fleming is an assistant coach, and Bobby coaches as well, Sir Mo. And then there's some other ones. That's the only one I'm gonna promote because that's the one I'm associated with.
Right.
But respect all the other ones though, like straight up. Like there's a lot of good ones though.
Yeah.
You can't go wrong with a few of them in this area.
Gotcha.
But yeah, no, I'm gonna put on for the home team 100%. So Bumps and Bruises 469 is where it's at out here. You know what I mean? And it's one of those things where people got to realize with wrestling, right? Like not everybody can be a wrestler. Everybody can start training to be. But not everybody's going to make it to be a wrestler. So I always tell students when they sign up, when you come in, think about one question. Is that, do you want to be a wrestler or do you want to be in the wrestling business? Because barring, let's say you want to only be a wrestler and you get injured. Now what? Do you not want to help coach? Do you not want to help produce? Do you not want to work commentary? Do you not want to ref? Do you not want to manage? Because if you only want to be a wrestler, then that's going to be it. You know what I'm saying? Just being a wrestler. But if you want to be in the wrestling business, when you get hurt, you'll put yourself in front of that injury by still working somewhere else within the company or organizations in which you work for.
Yeah.
And you got to know that because stuff happens. And you might just not be good enough to be a wrestler, which also happens. It's like we all played sports growing up, you know what I mean? If we're supposed to be in the NFL and we're good enough to be in the NFL, we would be. The reason we're not in the NFL, we weren't good enough to be in the NFL.
I guess you coaching would have that conversation with somebody you're like, yeah, but wrestling's not gonna be what it is for you.
You know, obviously it's tough. And we keep it P with everybody. You know what I mean? If it's not there, we give opportunity. Essentially, we try to get them to also realize it. You know, we'll put them in position because you only know if you know, right? Once it gets to a certain point, and we'll put them in a position to show and prove. You know what I mean? And then as time will tell, they'll start kind of catching the gist of the situation at hand. You know what I mean? When they're not getting booked, or we start putting them in other roles. And sometimes it could be just a conversation, but people today are so damn sensitive, bro. They'll feel like you shitting on them just because you're saying, hey, I suggest this rather than this overall, you know what I mean? And usually it's because there's a lot of safety aspect that goes into what we do. Because a lot of the time, if somebody's not good enough to be a wrestler, it's because of what they're doing is gravely unsafe, and it's not proven in that safety. You know what I mean? And so we just have that honest conversation. At least I do. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna beat around the bush with nobody. Right. And I'll make sure they don't take it the wrong way. And that I have their best interest because I want them there. It's just like, but let's get a possible better role for you, because it might take way longer than you wanted to for us to get you where we need to during this process. Because the coach will be lying if he was like, every athlete that I have is able to be a wrestler, and every athlete that I have is good enough to be because they're coached by me. Yeah, that's bullshit. That's bullshit. But there are coaches out there that are like that.
Oh yeah. Arrogant enough to think they got all the answers.
Right. seen that new Chappelle stand up yet?
Yeah, I watched it once. Shit, I was under the influence, so I gotta wait. I'm gonna watch it again.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you.
Yeah, we ended up watching it on New Year's Eve or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, it was pretty funny, good, and some of the jokes was crazy. But shit, that's gonna be Chappelle here.
Right.
He gonna touch. He might not cross the line, but he tapped.
He definitely putting that toe in them. He might not dive all the way in, but he definitely toes that shit.
Yeah.
Maybe even like, you know, sit outside the pool. You know what I mean? Where they throw their lower half of the leg in, sitting outside.
Yeah.
It might be more so that really. But he stays true to him though, bro. That's a great thing. That's what I love about him most, bro. You know what I'm saying? Is that he stayed true to his type of comedy, even when he came back.
Yeah.
He didn't let the world make him change the way he comedy.
Right. Yeah, shit, I saw that Cat interview yesterday. Well, that nigga giving everybody hell. Did you ever watch it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
I did watch that. My favorite part is that he had the receipts to all of it. Like, you look any of that shit up he talked about, you're like, damn, you're right.
Yeah.
Damn, you're right. Like, you low-key realize a lot of them comedians were haters like a mug, bro.
Only one I would say, because I feel like, I'm not going to say Kevin's Rose was not on his desk first or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, y'all are type, short, funny, you know, whatever.
Right.
But I also think Kevin works stupid.
Yeah, that dude works hard, bro.
So,
Yeah. No, you can't take nothing away from that dude. Yeah, no, I agree with that. That was the one that I was like, nah, bro.
Yeah. But yeah, for the most part though, like I said, I can see, you know, the old niggas back in the day, especially hell, you know, why don't Steve do comedy no more?
Right.
You know, shit like that. Like you said, they compared his joke with said joke. I was like, yeah, man, sounds familiar.
Very.
He did say, you changed my car to a spaceship. But besides that.
Very. Mannerisms and the display and the you know, the setup and performance of the joke were exactly the same too.
Right. When you sit down and you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it was
no, you ain't digging like that. Like, especially with where Cat was at that time, that was too close.
Yeah. Then they coming back and they quote unquote responding to it.
That's how you know it. Yeah. That's how you know. It literally tells you everything you need to know.
Right. But then when he was talking about Ricky Smiley, I heard Ricky Smiley's response, and I'm like, he blew past that shit, and I'm thinking, well, that's what people not seeing. But the first sentence he literally said was, originally when he auditioned, he was auditioning for the Money Mike character, but Money Mike character was gonna be basically doing what the fuck Santa Claus was doing.
Right.
Money Mike was supposed to be a crackhead running around the city doing shit.
Right.
That's what you ended up doing. So, okay, yeah, technically but you wasn't the Cat Williams Money Mike character. I'm like, nigga, nobody believe.
Right.
Even possible. Like, you couldn't have pulled it off.
Ain't no way.
Steve Toupee. Everybody do that shit too. Nigga, that shit wasn't that crispy.
Hell no.
Hard trying to
man, boy. They kept him up for years, dog. For real. I like that he showed love to Cube though when Sharp was talking about how people would say Cube paid.
Oh yeah. This man paying for it out of his pocket. And you gonna be ungrateful. For the first movie that's not the first movie he's been in, but like, you know, he produced and shit.
Mm-hmm.
end of it, so that was definitely entertaining.
Yeah, no, it was good. It was good. It was very, you can tell he was very intentional with what he was saying and stuff, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Sharpie having them boys on there yet.
Oh, yeah. I was going to blame the alcohol, but shit, Shannon asked him one question and he dived in.
Right.
But I definitely think, shit, like he said, man, he's like, this shit could have you going so crazy. Cause it was, in one day, it's like 15 million views.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's crazy.
People are interested. You know black people like drama. And so when it comes to these celebrities that we can grow up on, because everybody else knows everybody people from all the hood classics.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? All our comedians were in hood classics first. That's for the most part, you know. Mm-hmm. And so we all got that relation with everybody. So it's like, damn. Now I feel like you've been lied to about some stuff. That, you know what I mean? You hear some of that, you're like, dang, bro. I feel like I've been lied to. Damn, that joke was funny that said did, but he stole that shit. So no, it's the joke that Cat did. That's joke. But let's be real, Bernie Mac, love it. Chappelle is definitely my personal number one.
Motherfuckers that you know is right, you're not gonna get the same thing every time. But I feel like you go to Bernie show, he's not gonna do the same thing every time.
Right.
That was a great Chris Rock.
Yep.
Oh man. Still on the part right?
What's up?
Still the part.
Yes.
Okay. You already hit your workout or no?
Yeah, I did.
Oh.
Yeah, after a little morning rush. As long as I'm at the gym at 6 a.m. I'm gonna do Ryan Stillman. Then after that, you know, I'm gonna get Sierra and all that. Misha did a squat PR today.
Oh, okay. What you did?
255.
Okay.
255. Went for 265, but she got hit.
Yeah.
She thinks it was too heavy. I was just too scared. I told her that.
Got that with her or not?
Yeah.
Oh.
She freaked out as she was going down.
Oh, yeah.
I think she was just tired by that point. So she was feeling a little bit more. She could have got it.
If none of them hit that, I know.
No, yeah, no. She had my point. I think everybody else, the most after that on the squad was 215.
Oh, okay.
Mo had the heaviest presses, the threes for the women. Monique had 125, all the other ladies had about 115. Cap was like at 85, 75, so around there. She got an injured wrist right now, so it's hard for her to get that front right. Yeah. And we lost it there before. Yep. You know, some little good work. What we did was dirty 21 counts on the bike, you know, men and women's counts. After that was a dirty 20, and then was some dumbbell deadlifts, and then some dumbbell presses. 3 rounds. 20 on the deadlifts, 10 on the presses.
Not terrible. Good little Friday work.
Oh yeah, people. I mean, really, it was the bike that people didn't want to do. That was where any bit of struggle that they might have had would have been at. It was just, or not struggle, but the longest time frame of a set movement within a set was on the bike, because the bike to get through 30 and 21 took long compared to 20 dumbbell deadlifts where you're just bending over and coming back up. You know what I mean?
I'd say if anything, I know that was first part of this.
It was wearing people out, but everybody actually moved very well on them today.
Okay.
Like, yeah, like today was probably the best day that everybody, like, legit across the board, and you need no cap on that, legit across the board, everybody was moving well. They're retiring people, but everybody was getting through them in a decent time frame. Like, nobody was, doing two and stopping. It was like maybe 5 and quick breather, and then next 5. But you gotta really, like, devil's press, a move like that is only so fast regardless who the fuck is doing it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's such a long move.
Yeah.
Right, you get all the way down, you gotta jump up, then do the snatch, the double snatch, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so for everybody, it's the same speed for the most part. It's just like, who can keep their heart rate lower, control their breathing, and all that kind of stuff to be able to stay moving at that point. It was a little easy day. Alex did what did he get, 215? I think on the 3 rep, he did the 3 rep today, the push press squat.
Oh.
I think he got 215 on that if I'm not mistaken. He went for 225 and then shit. He was just tapped out at that point.
Yeah. He said bench and shit probably next week.
Yeah, the bench and deadlift I'm probably gonna have on the same day. I'm probably gonna have a push and pull on the same day whenever I program it. And it's probably gonna be like all strength that day. Pretty much stretch, warm up, get everything loose, and start throwing some heavy ass weight around, Probably do that like Tuesday and then do another rep, not one on Wednesday, and then do like a clean on Thursday, something that with some explosiveness.
Yeah.
Following week we'll do like some snatches, front squat maybe. We gotta get that too. Still got a few things over the next 3-4 weeks. It will be intentionally maxing and recording. I told you I went to bed at 7:45 last night.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I was tired, dog. I was hella tired. Then I woke up at like 3 hungry than a motherfucker.
You glad it worked?
Like, dog, yeah, I got up. I was like, yeah, let me go make a little quick something, nigga. Let me go make a little something real quick.